Coach Jennifer GRAF, last home game on Saturday, last game of the year. Last night you went to Thibodaux and played down to the wire game with a very good Nichols team. Tell us about that one.
It was a very close game. Obviously, what was crazy about the game in the first half, it just was a track meet. We wanted to push the ball on them, and Nichols did the same thing, and both teams had a lot of turnovers. In fact, we had 16 turnovers at half. We had one offensive board, and we're up by 2 points, which is crazy. And so we went into halftime and said, we want to keep pushing it. We don't necessarily want 16 more turnovers. The only thing we were doing, we were trying to, we were getting and going in a lot of traffic, and that's where we had a lot of our turnovers at. And, we simply just said, control the ball first, take a look around, make sure you have it, and then let's take off and go. We're tied up halfway through the second half. They end up making some pretty big threes there to finish out the second half, and we kind of went on a little scoring slump for about 4 minutes. Well, we didn't get a lot of baskets and got down by 5 or 6 and then never could quite come back. Every time we'd cut it, they seemed to go down and make a big shot, and then anytime we fouled, they're the best free throw shooting team in our conference, so that didn't work out real well for us down the stretch. We felt like we still had a shot, and we fouled for about a minute and a half to finish the game, which took about 20 minutes, but they made every free throw that they took, so we didn't have a chance after that.
Now you play Stephen F. Austin Saturday. How do the styles of these two teams compare, contrast as you prepare for SFA?
Stephen F., no matter who the coach is, I feel like every year they always have a very athletic team, and he's got a very quality athletic team. He plays 10, 11, 12 players. He rotates 5 in pretty often throughout the game, and so I have no doubt that they'll try to push the ball on us and wear us down. But we've seen it before, and so we've got to control the tempo in this game. We don't necessarily need to run as much, but we want to slow them down as much as we can. They've got very good players in each position, 1 through 5, but I think we match up really well with them. But like I said, I think we have to control the tempo for the entire game.
Last home game means senior day. Talk about your seniors.
2 seniors, Jordy James and Rynika Drake, both junior college transfers, and so they've played with us for 2 years and obviously been a big part of our program, play a lot of minutes for us. Both of them been starting since they've been here for these 2 years. And the last game you get to play in Prather Coliseum, last day that you get to put on a uniform, so obviously that's special not only for those 2 but for our program, and we want to send them out with a W.
Your team has shot the ball well recently. Is there any particular reason why?
I think, you go back to the UTA game when we played on Saturday and we finally smiled a little bit. We got a lead and I guess kind of exhaled and stopped playing with so much pressure, because for so long there we were fighting so hard and pressing so hard because we wanted to win so bad, and I felt like you could see that in them. They were just trying too hard, I guess, sometimes, and now you're to the point where they've kind of just exhaled and said, let's just enjoy it, let's just have fun with it, still playing hard, but I think it makes the offensive end come a little bit easier.
Trudy Armstead crossed the 1,000-point career barrier. There's not a lot of Lady Demons have done that, and she's got time to go yet. How far can she go?
Trudy's a very, very unique player. She's extremely talented, very physical, can do a lot of different things, and that's what makes her be able to score so well, is because she's so versatile and can score in a variety of ways. I thought it was pretty special last night. Like you said, there's not very many Lady Demon players in that 1,000-point club, and while we're down in Thibodaux, Kia Converse, one of our former players who is in the 1,000-point club, is there with her whole family, which I appreciate it, because she must have pulled out every camp T-shirt and every purple gear she had, because she had them all decked out in Lady Demon gear, so we had a little fan base there, and so that was pretty neat, and even more special when Trudy passes that 1,000-point club. And like you said, she still has a year to go.
Coach GRAF, you played 4 years. How many points did you score?
I wasn't close to 1,000.
We're with Demon assistant basketball coach Jeff Moore. Coach Moore, last night, just about as good as it gets for the Demon basketball team.
Tell you what, our guys really stepped up to the challenge offensively and defensively, and took on the Colonels and had a great outcome. But the effort, the team unity was there, and you saw good things happening on the floor.
Your team shot extraordinarily well. You made some major offensive adjustments. Why did that occur? When did that occur? What was the inspiration for that occur? And how did the team buy into that?
We knew Nichols would really trap ball screens really hard, so we made some adjustments and really just made a focus of getting the ball in the paint. Not necessarily by passing, but also by dribbling, getting it in there, looking in the paint first, and then we started getting those baskets, then the outside opened up and guys were stepping in the shots and making them.
The other thing that happened was Nichols came into the game shooting 52% in its last 5 conference games, and they were miserable most of the night and finished well under 40%.
We really got up in passing lanes and tried to win the battle of the three-point line and push them out, and thought our guys really were aggressive and above them and just didn't let them do what they wanted to do.
All right, you turn the page now because that's what happens in sports and particularly basketball. We're now in March. It's March Madness, the last regular season game, Saturday night at Stephen F. Austin. Let's talk about that matchup. Very challenging.
Yeah, it'll be a very well-coached team at Stephen F. And, we just got to kind of get them playing fast. That's the key. We can't let them be so methodical and pick us apart. We can't go with a slow tempo game. It'll be in our advantage to be a fast tempo game.
My understanding is they've not given up 70 points all year long. So is that a magic mark?
If we can get 70 or higher, I think the Demons will prevail. But, we've got to stop them, but also that pace will set the tone for more points.
All right. The possibility exists that you could play Stephen F. Austin again in the first round of the conference tournament along with either Lamar or McNeese. Does the fact that you might play SFA affect any game planning?
No, I think we're going to approach it the same. We're going to go out there and try and get a win and keep this momentum going. That's the key. You want to be playing your best basketball in March, and hopefully we've got that tide rolling that way.
There's no question you played your best basketball on Leap Day, February 29th. Let's see if we can bottle that and keep it rolling.
We're going to do it. The guys this morning were real focused, had a little hop in their step, and, we want to keep them playing hard and playing together and being positive, and, good things can happen.
We're with junior forward James Holben, and James, I think everybody who follows Demon basketball has one very basic question that is followed with an exclamation point. What happened to the Demons last night?
Oh, we just played Demon basketball, played together. We just had fun. Coaches go out there and have fun, so that's what we did. Executed and played good defense, and we came out on top.
There's no question that it looked fun. The Demons got off to a great start and never wavered. Going into a game against a Nichols team that was playing very well coming in, what, from a strategic standpoint, made the difference last night?
We were prepared real well, with the practice and stuff. Coach prepared us real good. And with the film and scout sessions were very good. He let us know what they were going to do, and we executed to the game plan.
All right, how do you explain going from last Wednesday night and that miserable offensive performance to where we were last night with our best offensive performance of the season in many respects? Did that change happen going into the UTA game and just manifested itself last night and now we're on a roll? Or did it all come together just right during practice and leading into this game?
It was a confidence thing. We had to get our confidence back up. Once all of us got our confidence back up, we were hitting shots and stuff, we were just rolling.
All right, now how do you sustain that for the rest of this run, because we're heading into March Madness?
Have fun. Just have fun, compete, play hard.
You played a team last night that doesn't like to play fast. You put 92 points on the board. You're playing a Stephen F. Austin team that may be the best defensive team in the country. How do you get them to play faster than they want to?
We had to speed them up, pressure the ball, pressure the point guard, make them uncomfortable, make them do stuff they don't want to do, and they'll just turn the ball over. And we just had to play Demon basketball.
Well, that's one thing you guys did last night very well, was force turnovers. Is it a case of being better from a technique perspective, or is it just the intensity level getting to the level that it needs to be?
We got after it. We just decided to lock down, defend, and just guard people and just get up and down the court.
All right, now you go to Katy next week for the conference tournament. You could play SFA again. You might play Lamar. You might play McNeese. Does it make any difference to you guys?
We'll be prepared either way, however the seeding turns out. So we're just going to go out there and handle our business.
We're with freshman forward Marvin Frazier, who has emerged here in the late stages of the season as a very significant player in the Demon rotation. Marvin, first and foremost, let's talk about the team success and why the Demons had such a good game last night. What do you think?
I feel that we played together as a team. Our chemistry was real good. We defended well. We executed our plays well. We just had a good time with each other last night.
Coach McConaughey talked about your basketball savvy, that you're really advanced in understanding the game. I guess growing up in a hotbed of basketball, and Sabine Parish has got to be part of that. How do you explain that?
I mean, my papa really, he helped me a lot, telling me what to do, how to play the game, watch the game and all that. And I just come out and just watch what other people do and just do what I'm supposed to be doing.
All right, talk about the evolution of your role in this team concept and in this rotation. You've moved into the starting lineup most of the way now here in the last few games, and you're certainly getting a lot more minutes and statistically, doing more things. So how has that grown?
It's grown a lot because I play my role as when I get in the game, as to crash the boards, rebound, and dish the ball real well. So I just play my role and just do what I'm supposed to do.
All right. Obviously, you're a college freshman. You're around some guys like James Holben and Will Mosley and Shamir Davis, Lewis Ellis, older guys who have been through the wars. How much are your ears wide open at this point of the year? I know you know about championships, having played for many of them at Zwolle High School, but what's the difference between the high school tournament championship experience and chasing this here in March Madness?
I mean, in high school, it's a lot different in college because when you get to college, it's just no 1-1 seed because you got to come in and night out and play hard as you can every day.
All right. You're going to play Stephen F. Austin. That's a team that really you grew up right between Northwestern and Stephen F. Austin. So is this game a little more exciting to you than maybe some of the others?
Yeah, it's exciting because I get to play in front of some fans that's going to be coming from Texas and watch me play.
Very good. Now, after SFA, we go into the conference tournament. You've always heard about March Madness. Now you're going to be part of it in the conference tournament with the opportunity to go to the NCAA tournament. Talk about that excitement.
I'm very excited to do that. My freshman year, who wouldn't be excited? Just ready to come out and play and perform.
Do you like the fact that your team and your own game seem to be peaking at the right time?
Yes, sir. We coming along pretty good.
We're with head baseball coach J.P. Davis, whose team has just finished a series with Texas A&M, the number 5 ranked team in the country, and heads into a weekend series at home against Missouri State, who's no slouch themselves. Coach Davis, first and foremost, not a lot of weak sisters in the early season Demon schedule. In fact, none at all.
No, the early season schedule has been pretty tough, Doug. And, we set it up that way. We wanted some challenges early, see where our guys are at, see what situations we really needed to work on. And we've put in a lot of those situations so far, and, we've gotten a lot of good out of it.
Your team has been on the edge of a couple of top 5 upsets, hadn't been able to seal the deal. What's the secret to getting over that hump?
Well, I think more than anything, if you look at both of those games, it's getting our pitching set up. We've had a couple injuries. We had some guys out for various things. One guy suspended for a disciplinary reason. I mean, that stuff plays in. It hurts. But after this week, our pitching is set up. We saw, despite what happened at A&M, we saw some really good things out of some guys, and I think the pitching is going to set up. We did a great job of getting on the board early and putting pressure on them, and from that point, it's all about managing the game and controlling the big inning.
All right, your team's offense scored 10 runs one day and then just one on Wednesday. Was it a case of A&M having a shutdown pitcher?
They made some adjustments on the mound. They were wild on Tuesday, walked some guys, and we took advantage. On Wednesday they didn't. They pounded the zone. They got ahead, in the count, and they pitched it like A&M pitches it, and it made it tougher on our guys. on Wednesday. We just need some more consistency at the plate, and that's really the big thing. I mean, and it's kind of like our pitching. It's been either really good or it hasn't been good. But the main thing right now, we're really, we're going through some serious injuries on the infield, and it's tough right now when you've got two starters out at short and second, and then you've got your backup shortstop out. It's really played into things defensively, but we're just trying to weather the storm, get those guys healthy, and once we do, we feel like we got a chance to be pretty good.
All right, let's go through real quickly the injury situation with your infield that unfolded in pretty tough 48 hours for you last weekend.
Yeah, pregame on Friday night in BP, Matt Burns, our starting shortstop, who was playing extremely well, rolled his ankle on the edge of the turf. Right now he's probably out 4 weeks. We're just kind of evaluating it every few days. Ray Frias, our starting second baseman, in the second inning Friday night against Southern, made a play in the 4-hole, turned through to first, and then his momentum carried him to the ground. He landed on his left shoulder, separated his shoulder. We're hoping to have Ray back this weekend, but more than likely next week. And then unfortunately on Saturday in the middle of the game, our backup shortstop, Josh Gardner, squared around on an 0-1 count on a high fastball to bunt, didn't pull back, and it fouled. The foul tip got him and, broke his nose and broke his orbital bone. He's out for roughly 4 weeks. So, we're really hurting right now on the infield.
All right, what do you do adjustment-wise? How much versatility did your team have to handle that?
Well, we had to activate a freshman that we were going to redshirt, a guy that's going to be a very good player for us, Mitch Huckabee, and Huck played very well defensively Tuesday and Wednesday at A&M, and very pleased with him. We've got some other guys in there, but we're really limited right now, our mobility on the infield. And, we gave up several infield hits against Texas A&M. So, the main thing right now is just take care of the routine plays, take care of the baseball. And, I've challenged our pitchers, right now I think they've got to put a little of this on their back and carry the team a little bit. And, in those situations where, instead of getting the ground ball, we need to get strikeout. And we are capable of doing that. I mean, we're averaging a strikeout an inning right now. We got guys with very good stuff, guys that have different ways to get you out. So, that's the main thing. Those guys got to step up, and with our pen solidifying itself right now and being set up, I think that's really going to help. And, we just continue to score runs and be consistent, a little bit more consistent in that area. We're going to weather the storm. And a lot of people talk to a lot of coaches, a lot of scouts, and guys are like, hey, you guys got a chance to be pretty good. And we know that. It's just, right now some things have unfolded in ways that we didn't anticipate, and you just got to adjust.
All right, big series coming up with a Missouri State team that just is coming off an outstanding win at Oklahoma State. Preview this series. I know there's going to be a lot of interest from Major League scouts and a lot of quality baseball out there on the field at Brown Stroud.
Well, Missouri State's an outstanding team. They're preseason ranked, I believe, 30. Keith Gutton's been there a long time. He's a good friend, and they're a tough-nosed type of team. They're going to come at you. They're going to play hard. They're going to take the extra base. They're going to be very aggressive, and it's a very good home series. It's not very often that a team of their caliber comes into play here for a 3-game series. So, they're a regional team. They've been to the College World Series, and we look to have some pretty good matchups. There will be a lot of scouts running in here over the weekend. We've got 3 or 4 guys that are potential, have the potential to pitch in the big leagues, and they do as well. So it's going to be a good matchup.
We're with the Lady Demons softball coach Donald Pickett, whose team is finally at home for an extended period of time, or at least for a long weekend, and that'll be nice as the Lady Demons come home to host the Lady Demon Invitational this weekend. First and foremost, let's talk about the Houston Baptist doubleheader sweep yesterday, a very quality pair of wins over a tough opponent.
Well, Houston Baptist is a really good, fundamentally sound team, and they're going to make you earn everything you get. And we came out yesterday and did the little things right. We moved runners, got runners over in scoring position, and we got some timely hits, and we got good pitching on the mound. Our kids came out and worked ahead in counts. I was able to keep the Houston Baptist hitters off balance, and that's a big thing with our pitching staff. When they work ahead, they're really a great staff. So yesterday, I think we just paid it a little bit more attention to detail, and we did the fundamentals right, and we put ourselves in a good situation to be successful, and we came out on top.
It may go unnoticed, but I think a 3-0 battle with Baylor, College World Series team last year, might have really been a turning point for this team that had struggled early in the year and lost some games I know you expected to win. But even though they were losses, it seems to me that might have been where the team put its back up, so to speak, and turned the corner a little bit.
Well, when you go to Baylor, they're a top 10 team. They had most of the returners, most of the starters returning from last year's team. And, we came out and we had some fight about us, and that's what we're really asking the kids to have every day out is to bring that fight. You can't rest on what happened last season. You got to come out. This is a new year. Every day's a new day. And you got to come out motivated to play and pay attention to those details we're talking about. Early in the year, we've lost a few games that, we thought we, should have won, that we felt like we were a better team. And, we've lost 4 games that we've had 3-run leads in. With our staff, we shouldn't lose those games. And, I just think that they really started paying attention, this last week and a half to, getting ahead of batters, not having leadoff walks and doing those little things, and to make it tough on the team to score against and make them earn everything they get. And when our pitchers do that, we've got a chance to win every day. And they did that at Baylor. They did that yesterday at Houston Baptist. And, and Keeley came out, in that final game in Arkansas against Tennessee State and definitely was her, what I pictured her being this year. So, hopefully we're getting more consistent on the mound. And in softball, when you're consistent on the mound, you're a consistent team.
Now, offensively, Tara McKinney is one of the players I know who has really gotten off to a good start. Talk about your offense.
Well, Tara, we brought her in last year as a freshman. I think she started every game for us, and she was in that leadoff role most of the year. And it's hard for a freshman to go, get thrown into that. But, with a year's experience, now she's starting to be the player that we thought she would be. And, she did a lot of great things for us last year, but now she's really been a lot more consistent up there at that leadoff spot. And, when she comes out like yesterday and gets a leadoff hit in both games right off the top of the first, that just gives your offense, a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence. And, we've had some kids that, some returners that are struggling a little bit right now, but some of our younger players have definitely picked them up. Blair Beard's having a good start this year to the season and definitely helping Tara up at the top of the lineup. And then Cassandra Bearfield, freshman hitter, from Houston, that we really expect big things out of, has definitely, helped us and definitely brought some power to our lineup and with some extra base hits. And, when you got those table setters getting on base, and you got some big hitters, there that are capable of knocking them in, then you got, a recipe for success. So we just look for more of that to come and more of those kids that have, done some great things here in the past, to get back and playing and being their normal selves and not putting too much pressure on themselves to try to be perfect all the time and just go out and play. And if we do that, we're going to be the team that we think we could have been before the season started.
All right, this weekend, the Lady Demon Invitational, you've got Southern and ULM coming in. ULM already has a win over you. Talk about the schedule and about those teams and what you expect to get out of this weekend.
Well, we're doing a shootout type format where we're just coming in. You're playing each team once a day. So you're playing 2 games on Saturday, you get 2 games on Sunday, and everybody's playing each other twice. ULM, they're a tough matchup for us. They definitely swing the bat well. They're real aggressive. So, our pitching is going to definitely have to work to keep them off balance and not get too predictable in what we're doing. But, if we continue to carry the momentum that we've built over the past week, I feel like we definitely got a really good chance of having a great weekend. And Southern's always a tough team. They're always going to give you a fight. And, you need to get on them early because they do do have, you know, some good players down there, and they definitely, you know, have been improving as a softball program over the last couple of years. So, you know, that's a team that is dangerous, and, you know, that we need to go out and not worry about the level of competition that we're playing against, whether it is Baylor, you know, or whether it is a weaker team. We've got to come out and play demon softball and play up to the level that we expect to play at.
All right, you're right around the corner from conference play. Talk about how that shapes up going into your first conference series right around the corner.
Well, you know, we've struggled early, and but we've definitely played 6 quality top 25 caliber teams, you know, already this season. But we have let, you know, 4 games slip away that we've had leads in, that, you know, you didn't really forecast that before the season started. But, you know, I think that woke us up, and I think that we understand that we've got to work for everything we get, and go out there. Nobody's going to roll over for us. You know, we've improved a lot over the past few years, and we're getting a lot of respect, and everybody's coming out throwing their number 1 against us, and they're up to play against us. You know, we're not getting looked over anymore. So we've got to be consistently, you know, bringing the fight. That's what we talk about. Answer the bell. You know, every day out. And, you know, we played a tough opponent right off the bat in Sam Houston. And I know they're going to be fired up to play us, you know, after being, you know, ousted out a half a game last season. But, you know, we got to go in there and we got to take care of business. And we just got to play the style of ball we play and put ourselves in good situations and do those little things, like working ahead. On the offensive side of the plate, we've got to use those counts to our advantage and have quality at bats, and then just make the plays. Just make the routine plays, and we'll have a really good chance at getting off to a good start in conference. And, you know, we just got to keep building this momentum and understanding the mistakes that we have made early. You know, we learn from them, and we don't let those things creep up on us again and continue to head in the right direction.